YouTube, what's poppin', y'all? It's your boy D Hyde. Just want to welcome you guys back to the channel. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Now today what I want to do is share with you guys one of my biggest struggles when it comes to the maintenance of my beard, all right? And that has to be by far my cheek line, keeping this cheek line nice and high and right where I want it. Now as you guys can see, it's not looking too pretty today, man. Not at all. I did make a mistake a couple weeks ago. Dropped my line down a little bit. I think I dropped it down all the way down here, okay? So right now I'm in that whole reestablishing my line process, going 3 to 4 weeks, just letting all this growth grow in. And then I'm gonna start the process of doing my fade and my blending and then reestablishing that line a little higher, all right? Now I actually did a video on this. You guys click the card that pops up. In that video, it shows you exactly how I did my fade and my blending with my old growth and my new growth, and how I was able to establish that line nice and high again, okay? But yeah, this is one of my struggles, man. This is something that I deal with every so often. You know, sometimes I can go a month, 2 months, 3 months without really having a problem, but every now and then I'll run into this issue to where I make a mistake. Now there's 2 reasons why I make this mistake, all right? Number 1, OCD, right? You're doing your lineup. If you're like me, you like your beard to look nice and sharp. Sometimes you end up going a little too crazy with the trimmers or the straight razor, and you end up dropping your line down a little bit. You know, maybe this part is not really curving the way you want it to curve, and you end up playing with it, and then next thing you know, the line is down. Now the second thing that happens to me is I'm taking the clippers, and let's say, for example, I'm trying to stay right above my old line. So I'll come in and I'll actually shoot a little too low. So I'll end up hitting right here. So once I hit here, then there's no going back from here. From this point, I have to really cut all of this off so it can look right, all right? So I have to push my whole line down. If not, then I'll have this straight line here, and then it'd kind of shoot up at an angle and it wouldn't look right. So I have to make the sacrifice of taking all this off, and that drops the line down, okay? And then start that whole process of going 3 to 4 weeks of reestablishing everything. Of course, for a lot of us, we know that's a pain in the ass. Now, the reason why I decided to do this video is because I was thinking about it, right? What was I doing in the beginning stages of growing out my beard? What tool was I using? You know, I didn't really have this problem too often because I was using one particular tool, and that was an eyeliner pencil, AKA the Barber pencil, right? I was using that tool to kind of keep my beard right where I wanted it on a week-to-week basis. And the more I thought about it, I was like, why did I get away from using that tool? And what happens is you get comfortable. You start to get better with using the trimmers. You get better with using the straight razor. So you're doing like a lot of freehand work now, okay? So you're able to look at that line and be like, all right, cool, boom, boom, boom. And like I said, I'll do good for, let's say, like a month, 2 months, 3 months. I'm constantly going over the same line. Everything is good. And sometimes I make that mistake to where I shoot in a little too low and I have to drop the line down, or I'm overdoing it when it comes to, you know, just cleaning up the line and making it too sharp. So when it comes to one of my biggest struggles as far as keeping this cheek line nice and high and the way I want it every week, using an eyeliner pencil in the past has definitely helped me. And that's why I'm going to kind of add it back into my routine. And even though it's an extra step, it's well worth it to go through that extra step to make sure that everything comes out nice and even every week. And I'd rather deal with that than go through this whole process of, you know, when I do make these mistakes, knocking my beard down and then, you know, waiting weeks to try to get this top line established again and going through that whole process. So for those of you that's going through the same struggles that I go through as far as a do-it-yourselfer, and you're running into these problems to where, you know, your line is not really coming out right, or you're making mistakes, you're dropping down, or it's not really even, drawing out that line, looking at it, making sure everything is good, hitting it, you should have no problems, man, at all, period. So I highly suggest, if you don't have an eyeliner pencil, if you've never done this before, give it a shot. You know, see how it works out for you. Again, this is an extra step to add when it comes to lining up your beard, but it's well worth it. You want to eliminate those problems, especially if you're having problems with just maintaining that cheek line up nice and high the way you want it. Or however you have your cheek line, just kind of maintaining that same line on a week-to-week basis, okay? Now when it comes to those of you that actually go to the barbershop and you're not a do-it-yourselfer, but you prefer to go to the barbershop and get your beard lined up, it's a little more difficult for you to kind of go in there and tell your barber, hey man, take an eyeliner pencil, draw my line out before, because a lot of them will look at you and go be like, listen, homie, I'm a professional. I don't need to be drawing out no damn line and doing all that, unless you're really cool with the dude, you know what I mean? But for the most part, you sit in that chair, you can only explain to them verbally what you want, But if there's a way to where they can take a barber pencil or an eyeliner pencil and draw out that line, that way he can get a visual of what you want, and then you can see exactly where that line is before he get to cutting. That'll make the whole situation a lot better for you, all right? Because I know that from time to time, you'll sit in that chair, and a lot of times what happens is they're trying to get that line as sharp as possible, and they end up dropping your line down a little bit, and then you get up and you're like, damn, I got to start this whole process again. The beard looks good right now, but I don't like my line that low, okay? So that's definitely an option depending on your barber, if he's cool or not. Now, with that being said, fellas, listen, again, I just want to give you guys a little look into my struggles, some of the struggles that I go through. And hopefully this video would help some of you, especially if you're a do-it-yourselfer and you're going through those problems, and you've never used an eyeliner pencil before, or you just kind of got away from using it, man. It's a great tool to have, a great tool to use, just to kind of establish a line. And, you don't have to use it every week, but, if you can use that eyeliner pencil just to kind of reestablish a line, or just establish a line for the first time, it's a really good tool to have. And that way you can kind of draw out your beard, see where it is before you get to cutting, and everything should work out after that, man. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is your boy D Hyde. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel already. And I look forward to putting out more videos like this, just kind of touching on some key things, some key problems, some key issues that we go through from time to time when it comes to growing out this beard and maintaining this beard. All right, so again, this is your boy D Hyde. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed week, wonderful, blessed weekend, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, peace out.